Out, and now is the time to clean up. We do get some dry weather in there, but rain is making a comeback this weekend when you could hear thunder again coming up. Across greater Cincinnati, we do have a couple of areas of some showers, but honestly, for the rest of this afternoon, I'm thinking most of this rainfall should stay just that. Rain, that's going to be a possibility here throughout the early evening time frame. Then we start to dry out overnight. Some welcome news, I'm sure, for a lot of us who are still having to clean up from all of last night's and this morning's storms, whether that was from water damage or from trees that perhaps have come down, or even worse than that for some communities. So again, a few sprinkles out there. That EF2 tornado now confirmed in Franklin County, Indiana. This is around the Druersburg area. It looks like that tornado out there peaked at an EF2. Don't have those wind speeds quite yet, the exact maximum sustained gusts, but what an EF2 on the enhanced Vegeta scale does range from is anywhere from 111 miles per hour to up to 135 miles per hour. Over toward Druersburg, that's where I was seeing some reports of damage that brought down roof collapse, and then also people possibly entrapped in homes too. So unfortunately, not surprised by that news. Also remarkable from some of the data that we got this morning, early on around 5 o'clock, over toward Maysville, Kentucky, we had 114 mile per hour gusts there. This is reported at the Kentucky Mesonet site. This is the second strongest gust that they have had. The first strongest, or the strongest gust that they had, was 120 mile per hour wind gust there. That was in Caldwell County in 2021. That's back during the tornado outbreak that was in December of 2021, if you remember that year. Overnight, we also picked up a ton of rainfall. Lunken Airport, 5 inches, more than 5 inches of rainfall at Lunken. So again, whether it's picking up your trees, whether it's picking up just kind of assessing the basement here this afternoon and this morning after everything that blew through last night. Got a long night and day ahead of us, but in terms of weather, again, it's looking like things are kind of starting to calm down. Good news on that front, but we do have that storm chance heading into the weekend. I'll show you that potential coming up. Sheree? Slated shower or maybe even a downpour this evening, but for the most part, we are starting to head into a dry pattern for a couple of days. I'll show you when we do have the potential to see some rain this upcoming weekend for Father's Day coming up. You're watching Cincinnati's WLWT News 5, and we'll be right back. From southeastern Indiana, but for the most part, everything is kind of starting to head into that quiet direction, which I'm sure is much welcome news for everybody around greater Cincinnati, whether it was the heavy rainfall that we got, those really intense strong winds that we got last night, the tornadoes. Now we had that confirmed tornado in Franklin County, Indiana, right around the Druersburg area. EF2 confirmed so far. National Weather Service still out surveying damage, so I expect to see other reports coming throughout the rest of this evening as to what ended up unfolding in Florence and what ended up unfolding over toward Maysville as well, because we ended up with really strong winds early this morning around 5 o'clock, right around the Maysville area. Winds there up to 114 miles per hour reported at the Kentucky Mesonet site. So really just a loud, powerful night from Mother Nature, and now things are starting to quiet out for us. So that's some good news as we head into the next couple of days and wrap up the work week here. We do have a couple of these showers making their way in, as I mentioned, from southeastern Indiana. Some light rainfall over by Versailles right now. A little bit more moderate pocket just to the south of town. We've also got some light rainfall around Holton. This is essentially traveling along 50 and edging into areas on the west side of town as well. So there will be some sprinkles that start to move into areas closer to the airport here fairly soon, perhaps even into areas just to the west of downtown Cincinnati over toward Cheviot, south of that as well, kind of by the Addison area, perhaps seeing some sprinkles forming out there too. Now, as we head into this evening too, temperatures, they're not too bad, sitting in the upper 70s all across town, 78 in Cincinnati, 80 in Florence now, 77 in Hamilton. The rest of this evening, that shower chance is going to stick around through about 7 or 8 o'clock tonight. We could have some downpours occasionally, but I think for the most part, once we get to sunset and later, we start to quiet out. We are going to see some wind gusts here this evening, closer to about 25 miles per hour, but those even start to calm down tonight, and temperatures this evening remain in the 70s. Throughout the next couple of hours, again, Futurecast not too impressed with that chance of rainfall this evening. I do think through at least sunset, we'll have a chance of a downpour. Beyond that, though, tonight, partly cloudy skies expected to kind of take the way. And then for tomorrow, it actually looks gorgeous. So good news if you need a break from all of this active weather, which I think we all could use at this point. Tomorrow is going to bring that. We'll see temperatures reaching into the upper 70s, sunshine throughout the day on Friday, And then from there, we're looking at some dry weather heading into the first half of the weekend. Second half, not the case. Once we get to Father's Day on Sunday, there is the potential to see some rainfall, especially as we get into the second half of the day on Sunday. What we're looking at here, 2 weather impact days, Sunday into Monday, possibly some afternoon rainfall moving in. And then as we get into Sunday night, especially, that's when it looks like we start to see the bulk of our rain and thunderstorm potential kind of rolling in. That will continue into Monday morning as well. From there, we start to dry out a little bit heading into next week. So the good news with tonight is while we do have some of those showers around right now, they're kind of starting to build in from the west. We are looking at dry weather heading into the overnight time frame. Eventually, we'll see this rainfall coming to an end closer to about sunset or so. And from there, things are going to start to dry out for us and clear out too. Tomorrow actually looks like a really nice day, a good day if you've got cleanup still that you need to do, kind of starting to assess all the damage across the area. Looks like tomorrow's going to bring us that calm weather that I think we all could use after last night and this morning. Here are some downpours, a little bit heavier over toward Dillsboro. Now we've got some of that rainfall that's stretching into areas just south of Lawrenceburg, Indiana too, and that's going to be pulling across the Ohio River into Boone County, essentially following right where some of that damage is over by Florence. So you are going to see some showers moving in just to the north of town for you if you're in Florence, and that's starting to overspread over top of the airport as well. CVG possibly seeing some rainfall. At this point, no thunder and lightning with it, and I'm not too overly concerned with the thunderstorm threat for the rest of this evening. So good news with that. As we head into the next couple of hours too, temperatures are going to stay in the 70s. I want to talk about the EF2 tornado that was confirmed in Franklin County, Indiana briefly. It was confirmed. So far, the National Weather Service hasn't had a chance to release all the exact data, but what they said is that there was an EF2 that likely peaked right around the Drewsburg area. And if you remember last night, or if you were awake last night, this was a spot that we ended up hearing a lot of damage, actually reports of some heavy damage from officials out there. So now we do have that confirmation of the EF2 tornado back out toward that area. No wind speeds exactly yet associated with this, but I expect that to come this evening. For reference though, on the EF2 scale, wind speeds can range anywhere from 111 to 135 miles per hour for 3-second gusts with those tornadoes. So we are at least looking at strong winds around 100 to 11 up to 135. We'll have to see where it lands within that range there. On top of that too, look at this wind that we had a report of in Maysville, Kentucky this morning at 5 o'clock, 114 mile per hour wind there. Still have to see whether that was either straight line or possibly tornadic wind. They actually have cameras at these mesonet sites, and they lost signal of that camera right around the same time that that wind gust came in of 114 miles per hour. Second strongest gust recorded ever at a Kentucky mesonet site. These are all across the entire state of Kentucky. They're all kind of monitored and looked at by people, by experts. The first strongest, 120 mile per hour winds. That was back in 2021, Western Kentucky, the tornado outbreak that December. So I'll have more. Of course, as we get more info from the National Weather Service of any confirmation of anything, we'll let you know right away. But I'm going to show you in a few minutes how we have this nice stretch of weather, but then this weekend, rain starts to return. I'll show you what that's going to mean for Father's Day. Coming up, Ashley.
Allison.
Shower rolling through downtown. We had some sprinkles not too long ago, even some rainfall impacting areas of southeastern Indiana and Kentucky as well. I'll show you where we're seeing the rain right now, how long it's going to stick around, and what you can expect as we head into Father's Day weekend. Another chance of seeing some thunderstorms. You're watching Cincinnati's WLWT News 5, and we'll be right back.
These years later, so congratulations on your 100th anniversary. All right, turning to your forecast now. I was looking as Allison was walking over, yawning because you were here till what, 5 a.m.-ish?
Yeah, about that. And so now we're looking at, unfortunately, some downpours that are moving right over top of some of the spots that we possibility over top of Florence. So you can see actually right by Florence, Erlanger, Crestview Hills, you're seeing some of that rain, some rainfall over by Villa Hills as well, over toward Fort Wright, Lakeview, Maurice, Wilder. Again, a lot of these names we were talking about last night, but with this is just some rainfall, some downpours that are moving through. Still not welcome news, especially if you're cleaning up, still kind of picking everything up from last night. But we do have this rain that's going to be moving in. But what I can tell you about it is it starts to roll out of here once the sun begins to set. We are going to start to see some clear weather kind of working its way in as we head into the overnight hours. Partly cloudy skies expected overnight for tonight. But right now, still seeing some of that rainfall by Highland Heights over up toward Wilder, Covington as well. This is just south of the Ohio River. You can see it from our tower camera, but it's not actually impacting. We did have a little downpour moving over top of downtown Cincinnati, but other than that, we haven't seen this rainfall kind of edging its way north of the river, at least for the downtown area. Where we are starting to see some of those showers move in is right around Anderson and Turpin. You've got some of that rain that's stretching up toward Newtown as well. Areas along 32 seeing some of that rainfall. It is on the lighter side and it's kind of starting to extend back out towards Stone Lake. All feeding in from the west. Light rain back out towards southeastern Indiana, south of I-74. Osgood, Versailles, Dillsboro seeing some rain. We've also got some rainfall over top of Lawrenceburg and some light showers over by Holton as well. Again, with this, I don't anticipate anything strong or severe. Those downpours certainly going to be something that you'll want to think about, especially if you're out still trying to pick things up from last night. But no thunder or lightning with that at this point, and I'm not really seeing things going in that direction. 78 in Cincinnati right now, 77 in Loveland. Temperatures are sitting around 78 in Middletown. We'll hold on to that rain chance through the rest of the evening as long as the sun is up. After that, once we get to sunset, we start to see those showers kind of fading away. You see that here in Futurecast. Finally, some of that rainfall coming to an end, and we get a break throughout the entire day tomorrow. Partly cloudy skies to mostly sunny for your Friday. Looks great out there. Temperatures actually topping out around 78. Then as we get into Saturday, we'll start to see some more cloud cover kind of building back in. Might even see a stray shower Saturday evening, but I think for the most part, Saturday is going to end up being a dry day. The day that we've got more storms on the way for us here Sunday, it is a weather impact day. I don't think the entire day is going to be spent with rainfall, but as we get into Sunday night especially, we're going to have to keep another watchful eye on that radar because there is potential for some of those storms to roll through here. And with that chance, there's also the potential that we end up seeing some stronger storms moving into the greater Cincinnati area as well. So what we're looking at for the rest of your Friday still looks to be a gorgeous day outside. Try to get Sunday to work here for me, but once we get into Sunday, there is that potential for another round of strong storms to move through Sunday night. We're going to be watching and kind of ironing out what we're looking at in terms of impacts and threats that we're looking at for Sunday night into Monday morning, but just want to have that on your radar for you as we head into the upcoming weekend. Keep that in mind for Sunday.
Rogers, Allison, the good news, though, is not going to be anything like last night.
Exactly, Chris. So not looking at anything severe. And actually, as the sun starts to set here in the next hour or two, we'll start to see these showers wrapping up. Still some light rainfall, though, across northern Kentucky right now. Closer to I-75, you've got some rainfall just outside of the Walton, kind of Verona area, as well as areas around Independence seeing some light rain, some showers over by Alexandria, too. Outside of Union, you've also got some light rainfall there. A few spotty showers throughout areas closer to Mason County. That far southern edge of Mason County seeing some of those lighter showers, as well as some rain rolling through Switzerland County now in southeastern Indiana. So some light showers out there for a little while longer, not looking at anything severe for the rest of tonight though. Now, we do still have that confirmed tornado, the EF2, that was back in Franklin County, Indiana last night. We have not received any additional information on this. Hence, we don't really know how strong those winds were, possibly somewhere between 111 to 135 miles per hour. We're also still waiting to hear back from Florence on if there was a tornado there. If that's the case, how strong was it? Waiting to hear back from Maysville as well as a couple of other areas too from the National Weather Service. Ashley, I'll continue to update you on what could be potentially another weekend where we're looking at the chance for some thunderstorms, some of which could be strong as we're wrapping up the weekend. All more on that coming up. But I'm already looking at our next potential for some thunderstorms here as we wrap up the weekend. It is going to be a weather impact day for Father's Day. I'll show you the timeline for when you can expect to see some storms coming up. You're watching Cincinnati's WLWT News 5, and we'll be back. Some light showers still impacting areas throughout Kentucky, a little bit closer to Independence, or just to the south of Independence, I should say now. It's areas of southern Boone, Kenton, and Campbell counties all seeing that light rain. So Grand Slick, you're seeing that. Areas in southern Kenton County also seeing some of that light rain. And then over toward the 71-75 split, we have some of those light showers that are working through there, as well as some spotty activity still over top of Mason County, as well as some spotty rainfall that's going to be making its way through Adams County here soon. You've got that spotty rain that's going to start to work its way back into Mason County here from Robertson County. So still not completely rain-free quite yet. We do get there tonight. Clouds are going to start to clear out of here. Temperatures right now sitting in the 70s for most, upper 60s for Cincinnati, just because I think that's likely the rain-cooled air from some of the rain that rolled through close to the airport there. That's why we're seeing 69 degrees. 75 in Loveland, 74 in Hamilton, 73 in Harrison so far. But tonight, thanks to our clearing, we are actually going to see temperatures falling down into the 50s by tomorrow morning. We'll still see that chance for a few sprinkles or some downpours here before the sun has a chance to set. But once we get past sunset, that's when we'll begin to see the sky clearing and temperatures go from the 70s to the 60s to eventually upper 50s by tomorrow morning. So again, that spotty rain chance for about another hour or two, but after that, things are going to clear out. Tomorrow, a nice dry day. So if you are still cleaning up and kind of assessing all the damage outside, well, you've got some dry weather tomorrow to work with. If your basement is still trying to air dry, you've also got tomorrow to work with a nice, dry, quiet forecast. If you had plans to do anything with the family, we're looking good all day long as well. And then tomorrow night still looks to be a really decent night out there for your Friday too. This upcoming weekend, a busy one with the Savannah Bananas in town. So what we're looking at for Saturday, still going to bring us some dry weather here on Saturday for the most part. Could have an isolated shower moving through. I do think we start to see some clouds building in here. High temperatures are going to reach into the low 80s on Saturday. Sunday back into the low 80s, but want to draw your attention to Sunday. That is our next weather impact day. Doesn't take long around here to start to see these storms working back in. Sunday evening, right now it's looking like we have some more thunderstorms that are going to be moving into greater Cincinnati. At this point, it's weather impact day. There is the potential that some of those storms on Sunday could be on the strong side. Again, for tomorrow, we're looking at a pretty quiet and decent day outside, not anticipating anything out there in terms of really even cloud cover. But for Sunday specifically, if I can get it to work here, we're looking at seeing, well, I can't, but there is that chance for some thunderstorms to move in here Sunday night. Some of those could be on the strong side, so keep in mind as we head into the holiday weekend, there is going to be that potential for some additional strong storms to move into the area.